what is new in Asana? The first thing I want to talk about is role-based access control. If you follow me on LinkedIn or follow our YouTube channel, you would have seen a demonstration of this. But this is Asana's way to provide more granular detail and access and permissions for people that govern your Asana spaces. So up until maybe 6 weeks ago now, you were very limited as what you could do with your different members and guests. And so for the first time, you can create custom roles inside of Asana. So I'm going to go to our admin console. So if you are an admin, you have access to the admin console. You're going to shoot up to your members. You're going to see your list of folks here where you can manage all the different users. But there's this new tab called Manage Roles. Now, at the current time, this is only available on Enterprise Plus. So if you're Enterprise Plus, you'll see this. If you're on the Enterprise plan, you can subscribe to the Permissions and Access add-on. You would stay on your current Enterprise plan, but you gain access to these new features. Yeah, if you're interested in understanding what that looks like for your team, let us know. We can facilitate a quote for you. But here you can see all your standard roles, super admin, admin. You can go into them. And what's nice is at a global level, you can filter and change what members have access to. So if you don't want your members to have access to creating company goals or creating teams for whatever reason, you want to govern that at this level, you can turn those things off. If you don't want your members to be able to delete tasks, even including the ones they created themselves, you could do that, right? If you want to change how they export or import information or apps they have access to, you can change that at the global level, which is really nice. You can also do the same for guests. And so you can make different changes and updates, what guests can see, what guests cannot see. But what I'm really excited about is the fact that you can, let's go back, create a custom role. And so oftentimes we work with contractors or interns. So we could create an intern role. We can set a description for who would fit this here. And then we can use a template to get us started. So an intern could be a member. They could be a guest. And then from here, let's keep member for a second. You can say whether they can invite guests or not. Check that on or off. Do we want interns to create company goals? Probably not. We want them to be a part of our teams, but not create teams. Set portfolio visibility. So creating custom views. Can they add fields to the company library, the field library? Maybe not, right? And so we can get really detailed and, give them access to the assets and features and spaces in Asana that really matter for that role. Let's just give it a description and we can create that role. What's nice now is we can go in and we can reassign that role or people to that role. We can edit the role and delete the role if we no longer need it. So again, if you're on Enterprise Plus, go check it out. It's in your admin console. If you're on the Enterprise plan, there is a paid add-on there, but we can discuss what that could look like for your team if you're interested. Next update here is the words to workflow chat inside of AI Studio. And so if you're familiar with AI Studio and building within AI Studio, maybe you're not comfortable with it just yet, Asana has made it easier to get started by creating your rules inside of AI Studio. And so what we're going to do is we're going to navigate to our project. You would build an AI Studio rule like you would a standard rule. So go to Customize in the top right. We're going to go to our rules and we're going to add a rule. Now, you can create with AI Studio. We're going to click on that there. Now, what we're going to focus our attention on is this little create button here. And so what's nice is you can just give it a prompt. So you can say, hey, when this happens, I want this to happen. So if you're not comfortable with, creating the conditions and the logic and scrolling through all of this and you just want it to output something, Asana will now build it for you. So an example is when a task is added to the project and does not have a assignee, send a message to the task submitter to assign to the best person. Right. And so it's not a very complex rule. I could tell it anything I wanted at this point, but I'm going to submit this rule and it's going to think through it. And what I like about this is it will build what you want. So I'll create an automation rule that sends a message to the task submitter when a task is added without an assignee asking them to assign in. So it's going to build it here in a second. But then you can continue this chat, give it feedback, and say, great, now I want you to do this. And it will add on to it as well. So, like we've become very familiar with using Claude or ChatGPT, giving it feedback, refining it. And so, as you can see, it's created it for us already. So the rule is called remind submitter to assign unassigned tasks. Perfect. I've created this automation. Here's how it works. So if you're not comfortable with building it, this is a great way to learn how to build it. So when task is added, check if assignee is empty, add a comment in task and use AI. And so it got there. If we wanted to build it ourselves, what's the comment we want? We could type it in and say, hey, missed an assignee, please add them. Or we can let AI populate that. So based on the instructions and guidance we've now given it, this is what it's going to do every single time. When a task is added to marketing request without an assignee, add a friendly comment to the task, reminding the task creator to assign it to the most appropriate person. And then if we wanted to give it an example, right? We could do that. We could just add into the prompt. Example, this is how I want you to format this comment. So we can really get pretty detailed with this and, shape this the way that we want to. So we're not just getting generic comments every single time. We can have some standards around how we do it. So I'm going to publish that rule and that's it. We just gave it a prompt. Rule's done. We can get back to work and not have to worry about what's going on. The third update that I'm going to demo for you today is something that is going to impact the way that we view goals and report on goals, whether through a status update or a PDF that we export as well. So you can now set and create custom fields from the goals view. And so custom fields were something that previously you couldn't have inside of goals. You could report on goals, but you couldn't get as granular as maybe you'd want to when it came to reporting. So here's a screenshot of a report that you could create based on your goals and where they're at. And so you could see the status grouped by owner. You could see the theme grouped by status. These are just examples of what this looks like. But how it works is when we go into the goal, and this is for advanced users and up, meaning you're on the advanced Asana plan and up to have access to goals. But we go into the goal itself and we would click on customize. And you see now for the first time fields. So we can go in, we can see I've added a field already called strategic pillar. And so we have our objective. What strategic pillar does this align to? We could have lines of business as an example for which line of business this goal will impact, right? There's so much that we can do here. If we wanted to add another field, we could search our existing field library and maybe we want to be able to report on goals by the region, right? So we can add in the region goal there and this will impact EMEA. Great. We have our status update now. We can say our goal is on track, and then we can show or hide these fields and make changes. And so I really like that because it's giving us more information. And for something like this, even strategic pillar, we've had to, up until this point, kind of break how Asana goals is supposed to work. And where we have an objective, we've typically made that the strategic pillar. And then where the first sub goal would be, we've made that the top line objective. And so it's almost like we're nesting down further than we need to. So now this gives us the opportunity to report on a lot of the same data without having to go outside of how Asana goals should be used. So I think Asana was catching up a little bit here, but it's really great for all of us. And then what's nice as well is when you go to export that goal, you can actually view those fields in your PDF export as well. So between building dashboards, reporting, getting all that information, we now have a lot more control over our goals and what we visualize. But I'm going to share a few more notable updates. I'm not going to demo all of them for you, but just some FYIs so you can take a look. We only want to give you the best updates from Asana. So now you can add additional drive folders for your AI Studio to search. So up until now, when we go into our AI Studio rules, I'll just go back over to one of the rules we created. I'll show you this one quickly. When we go to the search here or the file option, we've only had access to the upload and the Google Drive option, but now you can have it search and access files in your Drive, your OneDrive, SharePoint, Dropbox, or Box. So opening up to the other different storage platforms that we all know and love. And then now too, an update to exporting projects. A real simple one is up until this point, you could only export project tasks as a CSV. Now you have the option to actually export as an Excel file. So this is more about formatting than anything. You're getting a lot of the same information, but the way that it's formatted and where it's going to be viewed is now been updated so that you can get to your data and massaging that data and visualizing that data much easier. The third and final notable update from me is the reference custom field type is now available in the advanced search. And so Asana released recently reference fields where, similar to some of our other friends or other work management tools, you could have in a task detail like custom fields, you can now reference tasks, projects, portfolios, goals. But now you can use those reference type fields to search for information inside of your Asana. And in case you're not familiar with reference fields, I'm going to show you what they look like and how they work. So we're going to go in, create a new field, and then I'll show you the search function. There it is right there, reference field. And so we'll just call this customer demo. What sources do I want to be able to view in this reference field? I'm going to say tasks, projects, portfolios, and goals. And so what you're seeing here, this is fairly new as well. So they just kept adding on to the reference fields where if you want to allow your users to reference a task, you could have it just be the tasks in a project. And then you can determine which project. If you want your entire Asana to be accessible to this task in a reference, you can keep this blank. Or if we only want tasks to be referenced inside of this marketing requests project, we would just note that here. What's nice is you can do the same for projects. If we just want projects that are owned by a certain person, we can do that. Or with members, we can do that as well and add in different folks. But then if we want tasks now that are not in project but are assigned to a certain person, we can get really granular about like what kind of information we want in these reference tasks. And then we could say goals with owner or with members, right? And we can tell it exactly what we want this to reference, because what will happen, let's just create this field here, is if we reference this event type task, we can come in here and we can start typing. So right now it's going to reference tasks inside of any project. So there we go. We can reference projects, we can reference portfolios, or we can reference goals. We haven't given it any other information other than that. But as you can see, it's pulling in goals that are only assigned to Jamie Staples in this case, who is the owner. And so that's the information that's now available to me at my fingertips. And I can go in there and I can reference and go to that location. That's where we will conclude our webinar for this month. That was January 2026. Again, welcome back to you all. And thank you for being here with us. And as always, we'll see you in the next month. You take care.